So today was another great day inside of my better Minecraft world. And yet another one of the many things that I've decided to do here was to create a farm because why the hell not? But there's the thing, while this mod pack adds quite a lot of new crops, I've pretty much only decided to grow all of the familiar crops that I know and love except for beetroot cause no one likes beetroot. And by familiar crops I mean carrots, potatoes, wheat, and melons and pumpkins. Yeah, those sort of crops. As I continued working on the farm, I figured that I might need some more assistance to be able to collect all of those crops for me without interference, so I decided to get one of those crows that I managed to cage up and tame it because I once read that they're able to sort crops into chests for you. Now, if you do remember, from last episode, I pretty much said that I would just be pretty much do a vegan only playthrough throughout this entire series, but I just gave up on that because I was able to figure out how to capture animals in cages, and not just chickens, but practically every single animal in the game. And with this new knowledge in mind, I decided to capture a couple of sheep and a couple of cows. And I found this way better than, I don't know, probably capturing them from using a leash and then dragging them all the way throughout the ocean. And by the time I went back, I managed to work on the animal farm and it looked pretty well so far, even though it is somewhat small. Only problem was that I didn't have enough crops to be able to breed all of the animals. However, I can pretty much deal with that and I'm probably getting there sometime soon. And also, speaking of crops, I decided to hunt some skeletons in order to get some bones in order to make some bone meal so that I can pretty much make the crops grow faster while also making a mess of the place because of all of the creeper explosions I would accidentally trigger. I've always hated these things with a passion, and I think pretty much every Minecraft player can relate. But just as I was about to sleep, I found this weird monster outside of my house, and it was, I don't know, very powerful, and it took quite a while to kill it, as well as with all of the monsters that were accompanying it. I had no idea how the hell did that thing go near my house, but whatever, that wasn't really important since I had to go to sleep. The next day, I decided to put my crow's harvesting abilities to the test, so I put it near my farm and a bunch of chests and hoped that it would somehow collect the crops and organize them into those three chests. It ended up flying away instead, and the only reason why I was able to relocate it was because there were no other crows in the biome, and as a result of this weird debacle, I didn't really trust my crow in going outside ever again. I also decided to go mining because I was pretty overconfident that I could deal with all of the monsters on the ground, but that overconfidence pretty much got the best of me and I ended up dying in the worst possible way ever. I may have lost all of my valuable stuff in the lava, but whatever, at least I can recreate it. I then just decided to continue on my mining ship, except that the game mode was set to peaceful so that I don't have to worry about any more monsters killing me all of a sudden, but at some point in time I actually discovered my dead body with all of my stuff still intact, which was pretty cool. And I still just dig myself out of the cave because I still have no idea how to go back to the entrance of the cave which I use. Using the diamonds from my trip underground, I decided to make a diamond pickaxe because I decided that I just want to go to the nether to check it out. And for some dumb reason, I made way more buckets than I was supposed to. I don't know why I did that, but oh well, whatever. I also decided to make a room for my nether portal inside what was once my mining area. I initially filled it up with cobblestone, but since that looked ugly, I instead decided to remove all of that and replace it all with smooth stone, which takes a while to be smelted. And because staying in the same place just to wait for some stone to smelt was really boring, I decided to go exploring instead. I went to those pirate ships from earlier in the video, and because I didn't want to die repeatedly, I just instead decided to break into them instead and destroy the spawners from there, and grab the loot also. I then found a tower which was pretty much just full of some random weak monsters and dragon eggs, which were actually pretty cool. And then I took the waystone that was at the top of the tower. I got 3 dragon eggs from that tower, and I figured that I wanted to hatch one of them because I decided that once I was able to fly, I just didn't need to worry about literally any obstacles on the ground anymore. I could just fly over them. And since the dragons in this mod pack really love fish, I ended up spending I don't know, a couple hours just fishing. And so I just plopped the egg and waited for it to hatch.
One eternity later.
Sure, these may be easy to tame, but dear god, they really love to eat. Even with all of the fish in my inventory at this point, they still wouldn't grow big. And by the time I went back home, I still had to, like, I don't know, go fishing for like a few more hours, maybe even the entire day, just in order to get enough fish to make it big, since I had no idea how much fish it needed. I eventually got bored of fishing and just gave literally all of the fish that I got to my pet dragon so that I can continue working on my Nether Portal room. And now it's just time to check out the place. Looks like I ended up in some random closed off area, which doesn't seem like a really good spot, especially since I really want to go to some Nether Fortress. But oh well, whatever, I just ended up continuing fishing. And finally, I managed to make my dragon big enough to be ridden. Very cool. And I gotta admit, flying mounts in Minecraft are very cool. Especially if it's a goddamn dragon. If only I could make this thing breathe ice though. And oh yeah, while I was flying, I found this giant ass structure that had some villagers and an iron golem for some reason. There wasn't anything good in the chest here, but whatever. Anyways, I figured that this would be the end of the episode, even though this is somewhat short. But anyways, thanks for watching and goodbye for now.